Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody? It's your least favorite duelist here. We're gonna go through some changes. As you can see, I'm changing out that Master Chief helmet for a brand new. I guess we're going with the new name. I decided to change the smudges from D-Duelist. I kind of decided mostly because like my original idea for this channel was to be like a dad-centric, because I was like a new dad. But I think I kind of want to go in this direction where it's just me. I was gonna involve my family and stuff, but with the whole Kappa thing, it's weird. But anyways, we're gonna take it nice and easy and talk about a few things here that are kind of important. Hopefully you guys like the new title and intro, and it's a lot more upgraded on the graphics. So here we go. We're gonna talk about the ban list. Oh boy. Oh, actually it's an upcoming, yeah, we'll look at that too. Got an upcoming mini box also, but we're gonna look at the upcoming skill balance for Yu-Gi-Oh. We got some stuff banned, we got some stuff changed. Mostly overall, if you haven't seen already, I think it is absolutely terrible. Not all the way terrible, but we'll get to it when we get there. So let's talk about the skills first. So right now they're changing Draw, Sense, Spell, and Trap, Cyber Style, Tuning, and Ultimate Dragons. So let's talk about Draw, Sense, Spell, and Trap. So it says right here, you can use it each time your life points increase by 1,000. In the draw phase, instead of conducting your normal draw, you draw a random spell or trap. So this you can only use if you have 3 or more spell or trap cards with different names. Now the change here was because essentially you're getting a 1,000 life point, almost like Destiny Draw or Kyber Corp Bling effect, where you're getting a guaranteed draw on a card that you really needed. Most of the time that card was Grass Stats Greener, which is like a really powerful card that allows you to mill your deck. So there's that. Next up is Cyber Style. Now personally, I absolutely hate Cyber Dragon, okay? Like I can't stand it. That's like the one deck that I just absolutely hate. I don't hate Dark Magician, I don't hate Shiranui, I don't even hate First Turn Kill, but Cyber Dragon absolutely just makes me wanna yeah. So anyways, they changed Cyber Style here. So it says here you can only use it when your life points are at 2,000 or below. You play up to 2 Proto Cyber Dragons in attack position from outside of your deck. If your life points are at 1,000 or below, you play 3 of them. So the change here, it went to this from every 1,000 life points you're missing, you play a Proto Cyber Dragon. So essentially what you could do is you can use good old Cosmic Cyclone, which I think should still be banned. You use Cosmic Cyclone and you would get 1 Proto Cyber Dragon out, and then you'd have like a Cyber Dragon core or something. You make like a bunch of crap, Chimera Tech or blah 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 blah, and you just go boom on their face, and that was the game, and you were just dead, you know. So anyways, the other part of this is it says here, Proto Cyber Dragon played with a skill cannot be attributed, and while they are face on the field, you cannot attack. You cannot special summon except for fusion summoning, nor attack except with fusion monsters, and it can only be used once per duel. So that secondary change too is sometimes what you would do too is you have like a Cyber Dragon Veer, and then you would just like mollywop them, just like pop pop pop, real easy. So yeah. So those are the 2 nerfs. Now onto buffs. These are very interesting buffs, by the way. I'm pretty excited to like play with them. I've been doing a lot of like theory crafting and stuff like on this already, because like I did read this stuff already, but let's go into it. So this one, the first one, Tuning. So it can be only used when your life points increase by 1,000. Instead of conducting your normal draw, you draw 1 Synchron Tuner monster of your choice from your deck. Then send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. If you begin the duel with 3 or more junk effect monsters in your deck, add Speed Warrior from outside of your deck to your graveyard. This skill can only be used once per duel. Now, I think this is a really, really awesome ability now. I'm gonna be playing a lot of junk stuff coming up. I'm gonna get that junk in the trunk, for sure. So it has almost like a what grows in the graveyard, whatever type of effect by having a monster in your graveyard. So there's some ideas I had for like Madolche. Of course, we're gonna get junky with it. So yeah. And then it's 1,000 life points, and it lets you choose the tuner monster of your choice. I believe before it was any random synchron monster, just add a synchron. All right, and then Ultimate Dragons. This one's very interesting here too. So at the beginning of the duel, you add a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So that was usually it. That was it. I think that was the original one. Now you're gonna add on Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. And from turn 3 onward, you can add a poly to your hand by revealing two Blue Eyes White Dragons in your hand. And you can only use this ability once per duel. I try to make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon work with like Neutron Blast. Now it's gonna be very consistent, so expect Neutron Blast to be a thing for sure. At least a little meme thing. But I will be playing Blue Eyes again. Most people, when they play Blue Eyes, they're always just playing alternative evolution now, just for the card pop, and you know, you keep adding alternative white dragon to your hand because, you know, game mechanics. So yeah. Now on to the forbidden list. All right, so we have right here on the limit ones, these are just almost like future proofing. So type 0 Magic Crusher right here. You discard a card from your hand to inflict 500 points of burn damage to your opponent. With Witchcrafters, you could, I guess, apparently you can burn for like thousands of damage very easily and then add those cards back to your hand. So that's a good change. Plus, anything that's like this, like burn cards like this, you got to be really careful with, especially in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's a lot of ways, especially in TCG, where you loop stuff and then you just FTK. FTKs are not fun to play at all. Play against. They are cool when you're doing it, but when you are getting FTK'd, not fun. This one here I'm familiar with, Give and Take. So what you do with Give and Take is so essentially what this card does is you take a monster from your graveyard and you give it to your opponent, which sounds pretty bad, right? But the thing is you can give them a really piece of crap card. It's called like gosh, I don't remember. Man, I am probably gonna edit this part out, but we'll see if I don't know how to use the computer or my brain. Okay, so we're gonna card catalog because I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Ra's Disciple. Ra's Disciple. If this thing wants to load, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so let's put in Ra's, something like that. There he is. So this card, so you would use Give and Take to give your opponent a Ra's Disciple here, this bad boy right here, and it says right here you cannot be tributed except for the tribute summon of a god card, and you cannot special summon monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple. This card also special summons itself. So essentially when you give your opponent this card, they have an 1100 attack, 600 booty card sitting on their field. They can't special summon, they can't tribute it off, they can't econ it. And then you send this to the graveyard using Neo's Fusion, and then you give and take it to them.
Got him! Got him!
And yeah, so it's pretty funny. It's a funny combo. It doesn't work that well, but like when it works, it's pretty bad. All right, so here's the controversial changes where they just make me kind of upset, but we're gonna talk about them anyways. So like I always said, I don't mind Dark Magician and Shiranui, but I think these changes that are right here are kind of like backwards. So here we go. So Magician's Rod is limited to 2, which is fine. So no more cosmics, or no more treacherous trap hole, no more enemy controller, and mostly because this guy down here, Magician Dark Illusion, was limited, semi-limited. So they were still running just one of them and then like a Tretch, which is pretty obnoxious. Now that the Rod is semi-limited, you're gonna lose the consistency for sure in this deck, which is its biggest strength. And then you're gonna have to run the 2 Rods. Like, there's no way around it. I feel like in this deck, like, I don't think it's very smart to run 1 Rod and then like 1 Tretch. I mean, maybe, who knows? All right, but I mean, it's a decent change. But I mean, Dark Magician's still gonna be Dark Magician. If they open up with the Rod, then it's, you know, they Rod into Circle into Navigate. You already know. Anyways, Shiranui Squire got limited to 2, so the reason why they're changing this is they want to prevent players from synchro summoning using a single card, which in Fabled I do this all the time, so don't tell Konami. Don't tell them. Which I'm kind of sad about and glad about, because I only own 2 of these anyway, so like I could care less that it's semi-limited. But they did take Shiranui Spectral Sword off. Just something I'm gonna talk about ahead of time. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this. You still have other cards that do stuff, you know, like you still have other cards that can summon from the hand or graveyard, you know. So I mean, it's not a huge nerf like some players play with just 2 anyway, so yeah, not a big deal. Cybernetic Overflow got nerfed to 2, which I'm happy about personally, because like I said in the beginning, I'm not a big fan of Cyber Dragon. I think first turn or second turn, this deck is like, with a decent hand, like with Cyber Dragon Core, which is Cyber Dragon's Magician's Rod, essentially. You are like either OTKing your opponent or you're setting up for the OTK. Either way. So that's why I find the deck very frustrating. They blow up back row. You know, and it was about time they got hit with a nerf, because they were able to run like enemy controller, or like, hey, there would be like, oh, Hatronade, you know, and getting some kind of nerf is good in my book. Now we have some random casualties here. We have boss monster, the big old thick Ascalon. Then they don't really do much, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to be said about this. This card essentially kind of boosts the consistency of Dragoonie and makes their monster equipped with this immune to trap cards. So you could swing in freely into like a Drowning Mirror Force or something, but I don't think it was necessary. Maybe it's for future proof. Who knows? We got Lunalight Crimson Fox. This is a good change here. It got semi-limited just because it ties with Neos Fusion. What this card does here is if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one of your opponent's monsters and change its attack to 0. So this was leading to very consistent OTKs with stuff like Keeper Dragon Magic. You'd use it to search for Neos Fusion. Neos Fusion using and then by sending Neos and Crimson Fox, and then boom, 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 and you're dead. And then the last one here, Crystron Impact, got nerfed. So this one here, you can target one of your banished Crystrons, you special summon it, and you change all your opponent's monsters' defense to 0, which is really good against stuff like Cocytus, or what's another big booty? Against like Super Heavy Samurai. So great change there. I personally never see Crystrons. I think I saw them when they first came out, but other than that, I haven't seen them. You know, maybe I'm a scrub and I am not high ranked enough to play against Crystrons, but I think in the last like 2 months I played probably against one of them, so I could care less about that change. I don't really play Crystrons because I don't have that kind of money. I'm poor. There you go. Now here is a change that just makes me so pissed. Alright, so Shiranui Spectral Sword got set to 3, which I think is stupid. I think it's the worst change in this. I think it's the worst ban I've ever seen, or unban, or whatever. Now, it got limited to 3. This card here is insanely powerful. So, it's not the turn that's sent to the graveyard, but the turn after. You can banish this and another non-tuner zombie, and you make a synchro. Now that opens up so many combos in the Shiranui deck, because you can climb from like using old boy, what is that guy's name? The level 4 man, but use level 4 man, which I will probably try to post somewhere here. Use him, and then you banish the 2 of them, you make a level 6. He brings back this guy, the Spectral Sword. You make level 8. Then you banish your level 6 monster with your level 8 to make your level 8 5500 attack. And then you use the level 6 synchro to make your make an opponent's monster lose 500 attack. So you pretty much get a straight up OTK. Disgusting. So yeah, I think that's the worst change. This one here doesn't really matter. Magician and Dark Illusion getting unlimited. I mean, it kind of does. My only complaint is I wish this card was semi-limited also, or even limit 3 at the very least. Just because now, I don't remember the old change for this card. I want to say it was just semi-limited, but it being like this, I mean, most people only run 1 anyways. But I think just having those kind of like checks and balances for Dark Magician period is fine, because now they can still run Cosmic Cyclone, I believe. I think they run it. I'm not really sure. I don't think they have room for it, but they also have navigation to negate, so maybe they don't really run it. But who doesn't run Cosmic Cyclone? I don't. But yeah, so I think that's a dumb change as well, bringing this guy to Ban Prison. He's not super powerful, and you only run like 1 to 2 of them most of the time. But yeah, and then we got Amazon Princess getting unlimited here. If you remember Ultimate Cancer back in the day, with Amazons, you have really bad images. You have nightmares with this card right here. But anyways, I don't think this card's that powerful anymore, since everyone does run Cosmic Cyclone. Amazon doesn't seem as powerful to me, so Onslaught won't be really banishing your opponent's monsters that often. And even if it does, like, what's the big deal? Like, most cards work out of the banish zone now. Like, you got Metaphys, you got Shiranui, like, it doesn't really matter. So I think you can probably even unban Onslaught at this point. And maybe even, I don't think Swordswoman should be unlimited, though. But we'll see. But yeah, overall, my impressions of this is like, I don't know, like, I think getting rid of unbanning the old Spectral Sword is pretty gross. But the new skills, these 2 skills, specifically Ultimate Dragon seems really fun. With Twin Burst Dragon, and you're gonna be able to fuse very consistently, which is cool. So I'm pretty excited. These changes will be coming out between the 17th and the 19th for the skills, and then the 21st for the cards. So you got about like 10 days or so from the recording of this video to enjoy whatever you have right now, and then the changes are here. But until then, I will see you guys on the next video. Later.
Here I go!